Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course. Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you. Another offering. Off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks. Sampler review series reviews I do for a little while. I go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, then, folks, I'm going to talk about stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff that time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie. This was not my intended review today. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammering around about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck. And whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I'm wearing a super cool shirt. Folks, when I wear super cool shirts, I always like to highlight the super cool shirt. What super cool shirt am I wearing for you today? Happens to be my Dropout King shirt. I really like this shirt. Love the very sort of retro 80s style aesthetic to it. But who and or what are the Dropout Kings? Dropout Kings are a band. What I personally regard as being part of the nu metal revival movement. And basically, if you're unfamiliar with nu metal, it's a subgenre of heavy metal, despite what some heavy metal fans might personally feel about that. That combines, elements of rock and rap and, heavier elements and stuff. And, it was popular during the late 90s into the early 2000s. Eventually kind of, petered off as all trends tend to do. But in the last few years, there's been this really cool revival moment, not only for the older bands, but we've also gotten a lot of really cool new bands. And Dropout Kings firmly fall into that. I ran into them a few years ago. They were opening up a show that I was at. I thought they were fantastic. I was fortunate enough I got to see them perform live just about 2 months ago at the time I'm doing this. Great time. I've actually got videos of their performances that I've attended. And if you happen to be interested, those are on my channel. If nothing else, I'd be more than happy to kind of point you in the right direction as far as their music goes, because I do think they're absolutely badass. But anyway, what am I trying for you today, folks? What are we doing here? Why was this not my intended destination? Well, should be mentioned, the spot I'm about to review this item from, love this spot. Great spot. I've reviewed stuff from it in the past. But I always like to try out new places, especially if I'm going to places that I'm not at all that often or ever. And I'm headed to a show today. I'm going to go see a band called Delane. I think they're from Sweden or Switzerland. Is that the same country? But I was on my way passing through some stuff. I literally hit up 3 places in a town called Bolingbrook, and every single one of them, for one reason or another, was basically unavailable to meet service. So I ended up going to a stalwart favorite of mine, happens to be in Joliet, Illinois. It's Hamburgerseria, or however you want to pronounce it. Hamburgerseria. I'm going with Hamburgerseria. They are a cool burger spot that, like I said, I have reviewed some stuff from in the past. But what am I reviewing from them today? Well, it happens to be their burger of the month. It's boom! It is their loaded burger, which consists of corned beef, sauerkraut, Swiss cheese, and Thousand Island dressing. St. Patrick's Day burger. And since I'm doing this literally the day before St. Patrick's Day, I'll post this up tomorrow. Now, what with this being a review for a local spot and a burger spot, it's going to end up on 2 of my playlists. One is my Eating Out Illinois playlist, which is a playlist for just Illinois spots. And the other one is is in my Burgers for Days playlist, which is just for burger reviews. I got it as a quarter pound because, I got a concert to go to. But it looks like this. That is a sexy looking burger. Let's get a thing for the thing here. Fuck off. This one. Try out a St. Patrick's Day burger. And you can get it as a half pound too. One of these days I gotta get one of their half pound burgers. That's really tasty. Really, really tasty. I mean, I love a corned beef sandwich. Of course, the thing is, got to use good ingredients, Corned beef sandwich is a simple thing, but in its simplicity, if you don't get it right, you're going to fuck it up. Here, corned beef tastes nice and salty. but not overly salty. Sometimes you get corned beef that's a little bit too much. That's not the case here. It's nice. You still taste the corned beef. The Swiss is a nice Swiss. Like, I forget what it was not too long ago. I reviewed some sort of fast food item that used Swiss cheese. And, like, you could barely taste it. It really was hardly there. Here, the Swiss is playing a nice role. I'm not a big fan on Swiss cheese, but if you melt it, I like it. Working great here. The sauerkraut is really nice, too. Sauerkraut is obviously very divisive. It's not something that I'll eat just by itself. But if you put it with the right stuff, like corned beef, I'm a big fan. Definitely there. And yeah, you get a little bit of a tang from that Thousand Island. And here's one of the things that I've been giving them extra points for. Everything feels balanced. It's great to have these nice ingredients, and of course, like, all these ingredients work together. You're just putting it on a burger. But if Thousand Island's too tangy or you put too much, sauerkraut, again, there's a lot of strong flavors here. If those overtake the burger, there's no fucking point to the burger. You can just get a fucking, corned beef sandwich. But the burger itself, still super tasty. It's a really nice burger. Now, that said, I do have to issue a slight deduction in points. Simply because one of the things I like about Hamburgerseria is that they will ask you how you want your burger prepared. Now, for me personally, I think the entire world should follow me on this. When it comes to burgers, medium rare is where flavor lives. So I always get my burgers medium rare. That's definitely medium. Now, they are trying to execute it on a quarter-pound burger. Obviously, that's going to be a little bit difficult because it is, thinner patty. But medium rare, you want a little red inside. You want to see a little pink. Not raw, but, and yeah, that's definitely medium. But it's to their credit, and the beef that they choose to use, that it's still super tasty. It just would have been a little bit better if it was proper medium rare. I'm just saying. But that is a very, very tasty burger. Like, I knew coming in because, like I said, I reviewed stuff from Hamburgerseria a few times. They always do a great job. And then again, it's like, all right, well, it's basically a corned beef sandwich. That's got to work, right? But that's really good. And I think it really highlights why I like coming to Hamburgerseria and why they've become sort of a staple of, whenever I'm out this way. But 2 questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? Well, I doubt that I'm going to be out this way again before the end of the month. So I probably won't have the opportunity to get again. But, maybe they'll do it next year. Maybe I'll be down this way. I'll say this. If I saw that on the menu, I'm getting that again. I'm not going to say it's my outright favorite burger I've had from Hamburgerseria. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head which one it is because it's been a little while. But that's a really solid one. And it's definitely, of the pantheon of their burgers that I've had, it is absolutely doing everything that they do well, really, or doing everything they do well justice. Now, if I'm recommending it, about the only point of contention I could see would maybe be the sauerkraut, because it's a pungent sauerkraut. It's not like crazy strong. It's not like, like the homemade stuff or anything. But it's got really good flavor to it. And, again, that's a yes or that's a yay or a nay for, people who, do or don't like sauerkraut. But I think if you enjoy some sauerkraut, it's going to give you a nice little kick. And I think if you don't like sauerkraut, but the burger itself is fantastic and everything about it's super tasty. So, but 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous rest of your year. Folks, give yourselves a truly happy St. Patrick's Day-tastic rest of your life, no matter how you choose to celebrate. Look, we all know that it has nothing to do with anything. It's just a holiday, for the sake of a holiday. And that's fine. It's fun. Just saying. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do can't do all the time. I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Now, folks, not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating, and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, here's what I want you to go out and do. If you happen to own or operate or even work at some sort of, food establishment, make sure you're on point. Seriously. Because I have to admit, I was more than a little bit flabbergasted when not one, not two, but 3 places I went to in Bolingbrook. And I'm not trying to shit on Bolingbrook. That just happened to be the town that it was in. But 3 places, every single one of them, like, people weren't up at the front, the menus weren't ready. In one case, the place had closed down, and there was a new place there, but nobody on any end had explained that, on their website or anything. Come on, folks. I'm just saying. Do the customer a solid. Anyway.